we will understand the mechanism of breathing. A healthy human being can respire about 12 to 16 times per minute. This respiration involves inspiration and expiration. There is an instrument called spirometer to measure the volume of air that is inspired or the volume of air that is removed or expelled from the lungs during exhalation or expiration. I will also tell you about the respiratory volume. Let's go back to mechanism. How does inspiration occur? I'm asking about inflow of air into lungs, that is inspiration. How does expiration occur? If you understand mechanism of inspiration, then it's more easy for you to say about expiration. Outflow of air from lungs into surrounding. Let's go back to inspiration or mechanism of inspiration. In mammals, there is a diaphragm below the lungs. Breathing movement is controlled by, it can be inspiration or expiration, it's controlled by mainly diaphragm. A muscular partition between thoracic cavity and abdominal cavity. I will tell you about role of diaphragm in inspiration and expiration. And second important thing that we focus in this mechanism is intercostal muscles. There are two types of intercostal muscles, external and internal. These muscles are present between the ribs in a rib cage. They are called intercostal muscles. We highlight the significance of external intercostal muscles during normal breathing. That is normal inspiration and normal expiration. Internal intercostal muscles and certain abdominal muscles are significant in forced breathing. Let us understand normal breathing. Normal inspiration. When does inspiration occur? How does inspiration occur? I repeat again. This is all about entry of air into lungs. This is diagrammatic representation of lung. On one side there are ribs, right? Okay. These are all the vertebra. On one side vertebra are present. On the other side, these are all the ribs. See, it's like this. These are all the ribs. This is the chest bone, sternum. Sternum plus ribs. together form rib cage. I said about muscles here, external intercostal muscles and internal intercostal muscles are present between the ribs. Just find out the number of pairs of ribs present in humans and other mammals in the Google. Okay, on the other side, there are vertebrae. 12 vertebrae are present in the thoracic region. So this vertebra and ribs change their position during inspiration. At the time of inflow of air, there is flattening of diaphragm. See, first thing is, you can write it in your notes, mechanism of inspiration. In that first point, I'll take up this later, flattening of diaphragm. This is controlled by the part of central nervous system. Tell me which part of the central nervous system regulates inspiration and expiration. Is it cerebrum? Is it pons? Is it medulla? Is it cerebellum? Is it midbrain? Think about it. So one important change is this flattening of diaphragm. That means there is contraction of diaphragm muscles. Diaphragm has a kind of striated muscle only, just like the striated muscles attached to the surface of any other bones. But this is not directly attached to the bones. It is not smooth muscle, it is striated muscle. Okay, flattening, that means contraction. So what happens is, the lung volume due to flattening increases to about 70%. Okay. At the same time, external intercostal muscles, intercostals, contract. This contraction is also controlled by part of central nervous system, which is the part of brain controlling breathing process in humans. Name the part of the brain that controls breathing in humans. That can be a 1 mark question. Okay, the part of central nervous system influences contraction of external intercostal muscles. What happens now? The volume of thoracic cavity, right, rib cage, increases. When the volume of thoracic cavity increases due to contraction of diaphragm as well as contraction of intercostal muscles, the volume of lung increases. So in textbook they have mentioned it like this: pulmonary, pulmo means lungs, pulmonary volume increases. When the pulmonary volume increases, tell me what is going to happen here? The pressure of lungs, I mean inside the lungs, it is called intrapulmonary pressure. When the volume increases, pressure decreases. So these ribs plus sternum are raised. There is contraction of external intercostal muscles. So intrapulmonary pressure, pulmonary volume increases. That means intrapulmonary, this is the 5th point, pressure decreases. Now it is less than atmospheric pressure. Just find out what is the normal atmospheric pressure at sea level. Now you can tell me, will it help in inspiration? The pulmonary volume is more, the intrapulmonary pressure is less, therefore there is inspiration, inflow of air. Alright, so fifth step is this, then sixth step, inspiration takes place, inflow of air takes place. Air enters the lungs, that is inspiration. Now how does expiration occur? Okay, before that I would like to point out one more thing here. This kind of inspiration, this kind of respiration is called negative pressure. Search it in your textbook. Negative pressure breathing. In amphibians also have lungs. It is positive pressure breathing. So what is the difference between positive pressure and negative pressure? NCERT doesn't say anything about that positive pressure. This is given in the textbook. In case of positive pressure, the air is forced to go from buccal cavity, nasal cavity into lungs. But here, the pressure is lesser in the lung when compared to atmospheric pressure. Therefore, there is negative pressure breathing. On the other hand, during expiration, you may find reverse process. It means during expiration, you have to note down those points because this can be a 5-mark question. Diagram carries 2 marks, diagrammatic representation carries 2 marks, and then these points in your own sentences. So during expiration, the volume of the lung has to decrease, right? When the volume decreases, intrapulmonary pressure here increases. Now you can ask me, how does the lung volume decrease during expiration? Lung volume decreases here because diaphragm goes up. That one regains its arc shape. Actually, it is dome shaped or arc shaped. Regains arc shape. It goes up. At the same time, external intercostal muscles relax. The volume of thoracic cavity decreases. Therefore, pulmonary volume decreases. Therefore, intrapulmonary pressure increases. There is exhalation, outflow of air. Okay, so what do we label in this diagram? Ribs and sternum. Come back to normal position. Correct? You may find the intercostal muscles also in their normal position because the external intercostal muscles relax. Volume of thorax here decreases. Your volume of thorax increased. Right? So you need to complete this labeling as well as these points under the heading inspiration. Think what you are going to write, and then when you take a heading expiration, so this should be like this. Diaphragm regains normal shape. Then relaxation. Then increases. Instead of increases, you have to write decreases. Similarly here, the pulmonary volume increases, pulmonary volume decreases. Therefore, there is exhalation, expiration. It means intrapulmonary pressure increases during expiration. So, that explanation carries 3 marks. Then what is respiratory volume? How do you define respiratory volume? This is more significant for clinical purpose, and secondly for the calculation of respiratory capacity. Respiratory volume is the volume of air that goes into lung, that comes out of the lung in various situations. Suppose you consider normal inspiration, normal expiration. How much air we take? Suppose we are breathing 12 to 16 times per minute. So when you consider one inspiration, one expiration, it is about just 500 ml of air during normal inspiration. Obviously that is equal to the volume of air that is removed, expelled from the lungs. 500 into 12 into 16. So per minute it can be around 6,000 ml to 8,000 ml. This volume is called tidal volume or TV. So what is this? Can be a 1 mark question. Tidal volume. You can copy the definition from the textbook. The volume of air that is inspired or expired during normal respiration, normal breathing, anything you can say. How much is that? Average 500. Per minute 6,000 to 8,000 ml. It's indicated as TV. Secondly, expiratory. Okay, before that I would like to take another volume. Inspiratory reserve volume. First you write the full form and then you can put it in bracket. What is inspiratory reserve volume? So you have to take exact NCERT definition. The additional air, see, inspiration is over now. I take 500 ml of air. After that, by forceful inspiration, I can take additional air, right? So additional volume of air that is inspired. How? By forcible. It's not normal. Forcible inspiration. So this can be in humans, adult human, 2,500. In adult normal humans, 2,500 to 3,000 ml. So what is once again inspiratory reserve volume? Additional. It's about additional volume of air, because after normal inspiration, additional volume of air that is inspired by forcible inspiration, 2,500 to 3,000 ml. Then what is expiratory reserve volume? Once again you have to define it in the same way. Additional air that is exhaled or expired after normal expiration. So that is by forceful expiration process. Once again, in case of 1 mark question, what do you write? Expiratory reserve volume refers to additional volume of air that is expired by forceful expiration. We say additional volume of air. Therefore, once again, don't say after normal expiration. So additional volume of air that is expired by forceful expiration. This cannot be 2,500 etc. Just 1,000, 1,100 ml only in normal human beings. Okay, so by keeping these values, we calculate respiratory capacity. Yes. If you have got any questions, you can send the same through WhatsApp. Bye.